Hi there. This is the Perio Patient Podcast, a podcast for my patients and anyone else who cares to listen. My name is Dr. Ben Young, and I am a periodontist living and working in the beautiful city of San Antonio in the great state of Texas. Today's podcast is coming at the late end of August 2021, and I've titled it Just Checking In. In many ways, as a nation, we have returned to 9/11 as we watch disastrous events unfolding in Afghanistan, and it isn't over there. We, in fact, don't really know when and how this nightmare moment will end, but it will. I'm not saying this as a way of comfort, but more like a fact of life. I had a patient recently who had pain and swelling after a procedure that is associated with pain and swelling. In this particular case, there was something else going on that eventually and fortunately came to light. It had to do with the way he was thinking about things, probably due to past experiences of a similar nature. He had come to believe that this event, his pain, was much worse, and that, in fact, it was never going to end. That it was going to be a permanent situation going forward. And behind this was a concern about cancer. That the pain that I was seeing as more or less normal post-surgical events were actually the beginning of cancer. And he had dealt with cancer in the past. So for this reason, perhaps, he thought he was susceptible or prone to this being the most logical thing that seemed to be occurring. What I was able to tell him, however, after his second visit with me within a few days, because of his concerns, that this was not cancer, and that it would feel different in 1 week. Hopefully, it would be different in a positive way. Now, I'm not a prophet, and I can't predict the future, so I could not, with certainty, tell him or anyone else what's absolutely going to happen tomorrow or a week from now. But I can go back into my own experience in life to know that nothing remains the same. His problem would change, and it would be very different in a week. In my own life, there has been no injury or illness I have experienced that just remained the same. Even chronic conditions can and should be addressed and worked through. I know there are people, and you may be one, who suffers with chronic pain. However, isn't it still true that you have good days and you have bad days? And if this is the case, then the objective should be, and this is true for all of us now, to have as many good days as we can, and if a day is too long, a time period in which it's going to be good, then how about good moments or good experiences? So, to be honest with you, I am stunned and saddened by what I am seeing and hearing unfolding in Afghanistan. But I'm also reminded that this is but one place in the world where there is suffering. There is suffering closer to home, and there is suffering I know nothing about, but may learn about later. What can you and I do about any of this? Well, let me give 3 more or less obvious, but useful, at least for us, things we can do right now. The first is to pray. I'm not even talking about believing in God at this point. Let's say you don't believe in God, but you are sad. Is your sadness capable of improving the problems you are sad about? Is your sadness useful? I guess is my question. If the answer is that your sadness is not particularly useful for those on the other side of the world who are suffering, then what is wrong with the idea of directing your sadness away from yourself to someone or something outside and beyond yourself? And if God exists, and I personally believe he does, then expressing your sadness can also come with a request that he intervene. And because you and I are not God, we need to leave it there. We are in no position to tell God what to do. The second thing is to talk. Sadness can be expressed, and in times like this, because we know others are sharing our feelings of sadness, talking is very therapeutic. It's therapeutic for me talking with you right now. And finally, do whatever you can do within your circumstances. This may be just praying, but it may also involve giving either your time, your money, or both toward good causes that help others. One last thing. I know I've gone over the 3 I told you I was going to do, but this really is about all of it in general. I think we need to work to be grateful for what is good in our lives and in the lives of others. Gratitude is powerful and therapeutic. That's all I got. This has been the Perio Patient Podcast, and I am still Dr. Ben Young. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.